Hey guys, happy Monday. It was so fun being able to see some of you guys on the Zoom call last week and hanging out for a little bit. I miss you guys. I hope you had a good week last week and you're keeping up with your work. Thank you to everyone that participated in the Magical Monday questions. We got a lot of answers and all of them are correct. I'm really proud of you guys. Good job. So I wanted to give a little shout out to a few people that answered them and got them all right. So congrats to Deanna, Trey, Anna Carol, Cy, Jackson, Amory, Collins, Ava, Henry, Ethan, and Matthew. Good job, guys. Keep them up. Answer this week's questions, too. It's so fun seeing y'all participate in this little Magical Monday thing that I made up. But I felt like last week our questions were way too easy. Way too easy. So I'm going to kick it up a little bit this week, and I'm going to make them just a little bit harder. But if you need to phone a friend, if you need to ask your mom, your dad, your brother, sister, grandma, grandpa for a little bit of help, you totally can. That's allowed. You can do that. So this week, I want you to comment the answers to your questions on the Seesaw post. So right below, comment your answers. I want to see even more than I did last week. And you might get a shout out if you answer them and get them all right. So just like last week, comment below. The first question number 1. Who is the owner of Winnie the Pooh? So who is the owner of Winnie the Pooh? A little bit trickier this week. Question number 2. Who married Cinderella? Who married Cinderella? And last question number 3. What is the name of the princess in the movie Princess and the Frog? What is the name of the princess in the movie Princess and the Frog? So if you need to phone a friend and comment your answers below. All right, so this is another great book that I love so much, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. It's called This True Story of the Three Little Pigs. So in the original Three Little Pigs, we see the big bad wolf, and he's the villain, and he blows the pigs' houses down, and he eats the pigs. But in this story is based or in the eyes of the wolf. So he's like, that's not what actually happened. So he's going to tell us the true story of what happened to the three little pigs in his eyes. Everybody knows the story of the three little pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think we were big and bad too. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold, and I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in their right mind would build a house out of straw? So of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in?" No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed and I snuffed. What do you think's gonna happen? And I sneezed a great sneeze. Well, he sneezed the house down. Apparently he didn't blow it down, he just sneezed it down. And you know what? The whole darn straw house fell down, and right in the middle of the pile of the straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. I think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. I was feeling a little bit better, but I still didn't have a cup of sugar, so I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not by much. He had built his house of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back, Go away, Wolf, you can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs of my chinny chin chin. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was a second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. Now, you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. I think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better. And I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the brick house, no answered. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what that rude little porker answered? Get out of here, Wolf, don't bother me again. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't give me even one little cup for my dear sweet old granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed once again. Then the third little pig yelled, And your old granny can sit on a pin. Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fella, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course, I was trying to break down this pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. The rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the two pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all that huff and puff and blow your house down, and they made me the big bad wolf. That's it, the real story. I was framed. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. Oh, he's in jail. So, whose story do you believe? Do you believe the little pigs or the wolf? Interesting question. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this book, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.